Hello, today we will talk about debunking every common misconception. The first misconception would be dog's tails. Some people believe that the way a dog behaves when it wags its tail can indicate its mood or even certain emotions. However, this idea may be wrong, as a dog's tail wagging can have a variety of reasons and is not always an indicator of its true mood. For example, a dog can wag its tail when playing or being happy, but it can also do so to show anger or fear. Thus, it is important to analyze your dog's behavior in the context of the situation and not rely on tail wagging alone to determine its mood. The next misconception will be the dark web. The dark web is the part of the internet that consists of websites that are not indexed by conventional search engines and are not accessible through standard browsers. It refers to the component of the deep web that is not indexed and not available for general public viewing. In this regard, many people believe that the dark web is a place where illegal or dangerous activities take place, such as drug and weapons trafficking, identity theft, etc. However, it is worth noting that the dark web consists not only of criminal activity, but also of a large number of legal resources, such as forums, digital goods markets, blogs, resources for anonymous communication, etc. The main characteristics of the dark web are anonymity and protection from tracking, which makes it attractive to users who value confidentiality and privacy. Thus, it is important to distinguish between myths about the dark web and reality, realizing that it can include both criminal and illegal activities, as well as legal and safe resources. The next misconception will be breathe and swallow. The breathe and swallow misconception is a common mistake when food enters the wrong channel while eating or drinking. This can happen when a person tries to talk or laugh while eating, or when they are not paying attention to their swallow. This is most common in children, especially young children, who may be distracted while eating or may not be able to swallow properly. The consequences of this mistake can be serious, including choking and irritation of the airways. If food or fluid gets into the airway, shortness of breath, coughing, or even airway blockage can occur, which can lead to a critical condition known as aspiration. Therefore, it is important to teach children and remind adults about the importance of proper swallowing and careful eating and drinking, especially in the case of young children. The next misconception will be worm. The worm misconception may arise from a confusion of terms. In the context of computer security and information technology, a worm is a type of malicious software that spreads by self-replication and is distributed through networks of computers. Worms can damage systems, cause data loss, and can be used to collect confidential information. Their spread can lead to serious security problems and, in some cases, even major cyber attacks. Therefore, a worm misconception can occur when a person assumes that a worm is a harmless or insignificant threat to their computer system, which can lead to ignoring important security measures or responding to potential threats incorrectly. In other words, this misconception can occur when users underestimate the severity and potential consequences of a worm infection. The next misconception will be Vikings. Misconceptions about the Vikings often arise from distorted perceptions or myths surrounding this ancient Scandinavian culture. Some of the most common misconceptions about the Vikings include Vikings as brutal warriors. While the Vikings are known for their fighting power and conquests, this is not the only aspect of their lives. They were also known as traders, craftsmen, and sailors, and their culture had a complex belief system and social structures. Hats with horns. Vikings did not actually wear hats with horns. This is a stereotype that was created later, for example, in romantic depictions of Vikings in literature and art. Vikings as a homogeneous group. The idea of the Vikings as a homogeneous group that lived in one culture may be wrong. They consisted of different tribes and peoples, each with their own traditions and characteristics. Vikings as the embodiment of power and authority. Although the Vikings possessed strength and courage, their society was also organized according to the principles of democracy, where decisions were made in councils and power was divided among leaders. The next misconception will be camel. Misconceptions about camels, or camels, can include various myths or misconceptions about these animals. Some of the most common misconceptions about camels include: camels can store water in their humps. In fact, camelids' humps do not contain water, but are a store of fat reserves that are used as an energy source when access to food is limited. Camellias can withstand any conditions. Although camellias do have an amazing ability to adapt to desert conditions, they still need water to survive and can suffer from overheating or hypothermia in some extreme situations. Camels always have two humps. While it is true that most camels have two humps, there are also species of camels with one hump, such as dromedary camels. Camels are aggressive and dangerous. In most cases, camels are peaceful animals and do not pose a danger to humans unless they are frightened or enter their territory. Consequently, misconceptions about camels can arise from myths and stereotypes that can be disproven based on scientific facts and observations.